Gotcha. Okay. So now that I had originally 5 people watching this video, now I have no people watching this video. So I'm just going to sit here in the sounds of silence. I was trying earlier to do an Ollie's haul using my iPad because Automatica had said, I'm going to just keep pointing at her, Automatica. She's right over there, right behind the fire extinguisher. That's you. She had said, hey, it turned out really well. You can go to her channel and watch her do the unboxing of the Mattel Clayface Collect and Connect Wave figures. Really cool. Can't wait to get that wave. And her video looked really, really good. And I was like, wow, I should try that. She had mentioned to me, like, hey, you want to try using your phone or using your iPad? I don't like using the phone because it's hard to kind of prop it up. I've got something I could prop the phone up with. And I'm like, oh, cool. I have a music stand. It's off the side here that I use for podcasting. I thought, oh, cool. I'll set the iPad on that. And I was making sure that I was looking to make sure the camera wasn't blocked. And I don't know what happened. Because as I was setting it up, you can look. It's kind of showing you like this is kind of what your viewers are seeing, if you will. So I could see it even let me take a picture for the thumbnail for the video. I did a cute little picture, I thought. Anyway, that's not why you're here. So at least you can hear it now. So what I'm going to do, which I have not done yet, is I'm going to pull up my YouTube link here. Bear with me really quick. So that way, at least I can see you guys chime in if that's, in fact, what you want to do. So you're probably going to hear the video really quick. I apologize. I'm going to mute it. Okay. There, at least I can see. Bear with me really quick. So that way, at least okay. So now I can see. It was a good thumbnail. Yeah, I thought the thumbnail was pretty good. So let me minimize this really quick just so I can see the chat here. Because I don't need all this other crap. But I do need to be able to kind of see myself in real time just so I don't. There we go. Okay, that's better. So there's Jacob. How you doing? Automatica. All right, so ready to go. All that's out of the way. So I'm not watching myself out of sync. So if you guys want to chat in, you can over at the YouTube page, and we'll kind of go through some stuff. So I'm doing this video late because I've been waiting like, oh, just one more stop. So I got on the Ollie's bandwagon right as, hey, thanks, man. Thanks, Strawberry. Right as this whole thing exploded on the internet. So if have been living under a rock and you collect comic books and you don't know what's up, RM, if you don't know what the whole Ollie's thing is, probably about 3 weeks ago, people started posting like, hey, has anybody been to an Ollie's? I've been finding a lot of graphic novels for extremely, extremely cheap. Long story short, Ollie's, the best way I can describe it if you don't know what an Ollie's is, imagine the Dollar General, Five Below, Walmart had a baby. Boom, that's Ollie's. So you can find good stuff cheap is their slogan. They bought 19 truckloads from DC Comics of graphic novels and then disperse them out through their 20 U.S. state. Their locations that are in 20 different states in the United States. Not all 50 states have them, which is why some people are like, hey, I don't have an Ollie's. Around me in a 45-mile radius, I have 4 that I could possibly go to. I've been to 3 of the 4 Ollie's, and these deals are insanely, insanely cheap. You're going to see this is about a 2-week haul of 3 different locations that I went to, and I got everything that I wanted but 2 books, and I'll get to those when we get there. Sorry, throat's a little dry. So if you've got an Ollie's, even if you're like, man, my closest Ollie's is an hour away, you owe it to yourself to go. Now, of course, for me, a lot of my stuff's going to be Batman and Robin heavy, but there's anybody you can think of in the DC is represented. There's some trades that I didn't think I was going to see, and some that I'm like, oh, I've had my eye on it. So most of these books are retailing anywhere from probably $20 up to as high as $60 if you were to buy them on Amazon or go into your local comic book shop. The average ballpark price of these trades, some are a little bit thicker, so they may be a little more expensive, but the average price It's about $4.99. Let me say that again. $4.99. Some are $2.99. Some are $6.99. The highest priced books are $6.99. So you might as well call it $7. That's for a book that normally retails at about $50 to $60. So you're talking about books that have been discounted from Ollie's, and that's what Ollie's does with all of their stuff. So you're talking not like 50% is a really good deal, but we're talking in the excess of close to 90% to 80% in that ballpark, depending on the type of book that it is. But even at its highest level, $6 for a trade that's normally about $60 blew my mind. So this video is up late, so it's almost kind of like, well, Rob finally jumped on the bandwagon. I was almost on this thing as soon as it broke. So first thing I'm going to show you, a little suspense. I stopped at Ollie's today, bought one book because I was after something else. Didn't find it, but of course I bought something. So I stopped at a local comic shop to pick up a couple books just to fill some holes. This is Batman 451, which I know everybody's like, we don't care about this right now, Rob. This has to do with a podcast that I'm getting ready to do. It's going to turn into something special. I'll let you know more about it later. This is Teen Titans 18, Robin today, Batman tomorrow. A little lonely place of living. Okay, now the haul. So I've got two piles here. So I'm going to go through this first pile. These are not in any specific order. This isn't like, oh, this is week 1. This is week 2. Or these are just books as I kind of put them. However, so again, this is not the first book I picked up. But anyway, I picked this up. This was one of the latter ones I had picked up on my second to last haul or whatever. The Brad Metzer and Ed Bennis, Justice League of America, The Tornado's Path. Soft cover, I can show you. Normal retail price is $17.99. I paid, you see that? $2.99. It's a heck of a deal. I'm not going to go into like, oh, this is a story that has such and such. You know, you may know some of these. Some of these I haven't even read yet, so I'm not familiar with it. But a lot of us have seen a lot of the images here. The Justice League running with Black Canary and Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. We've seen a lot of the images from this. There's some of the back art here. So very cool. I got to find a spot to stack all of these books. Okay, this one I picked up today. I saw when I went to Ollie's. I went back to the very first Ollie's I went to today because some locations are getting replenishments. I almost picked this up the very first day, but today this was my only pick. The new Teen Titans, the game. This clocks in at $24.99. Any guesses? $3.99. Ollie's price. All day long. Very cool. Wolfman and Perez back in action. After a long hiatus trying to get this book out. So I've never read this. I've always wanted to read it. So I didn't realize it was as big as it is. I never had seen it in a store, just to give you a deal or a size comparison here. So, all right. So I love these unwrapped books. These are some of the coolest books. I love Andy Kubert's art, so I had to get the Andy Kubert Unwrapped. Fantastic book. I love these unwrapped books. This was a $35 book. The stickers off of it took the cellophane off. I think this was about, this might have been a $6.99 book, I think. Might have been $4.99. I don't remember off top of the head. But I'm not going to show every one of these. But I love these unwrapped books. So very cool. The other unwrapped book that they had was Batman R.I.P. This is another beautiful, beautiful book. Again, I believe, if I remember, memory serves me correct, this was probably about $4.99, maybe $6.99. It's probably $6.99 if I remember correctly. Very cool. Tale of Batman by Tim Sale. Really cool, very interesting artwork. I like his artwork a lot. Normal retail price, $19. I feel like this episode of The Price is Right. Normal retail price, $19.99. Your price, $3.99. If it sounds like I'm bragging here, I kind of am. This is unbelievable. If I figured this up correctly, adding all the books, normal retail price would have been over $700 if I have that figure right. This was a book I didn't even realize was out there. Paul Dini, Batman, private case book with art by Dustin Nguyen and Derek Friedhoffs. Anything Paul Dini, sign me up for. This one's $14 originally, $2.99. Again, insanely good deals. I'm a sucker for the showcase books. I picked up Hawkman. I was looking for volume 1 of the Batman book, and there's a volume 1 of a Batgirl book. I never saw them in any of, yeah, Josh, gotta love Ollie's. Yeah, so I didn't see that, any of the other Batman books. I saw volume 2, which I already own. But I'm a fan of Hawkman as well, and I figure this was originally $16.99, $2.99 for over 500 pages of comics. I mean, I'm going to be reading this forever. If you don't know what the showcase issues are, they're just black and white, just the inks, no color, but very cool. So I picked up a showcase, actually 2 showcases. So I have the Hawkman and I have the Aquaman. Again, $2.99 price tag on this. We're not done yet. Far from over. I have the JLA Grant Morrison's run here. Howard Porter and Johnson Dell. This is volume 3. Now, I believe this is the only version of the JLA book that's out there. Sometimes you may get 1 or 2 volumes from the same creative team, but generally it's just a, I don't know what you want to say. Automatica, you need an Ollie's. You need to find an Ollie's. It is worth the drive. You figure gas alone, whatever it's going to take you to get to an Ollie's, just go, I think it's go to ollies.com, and you can put in your zip code, and it'll show you the radius of the closest Ollie's to you in like however many different directions. I think you could put in distance, or if you leave a distance open-ended, it's worth it. So anyway, Grant Morrison, this is the deluxe edition of it, so it's got, you know, all the different notes and designs and whatever is going on. So I've always wanted to read the Grant Morrison JLA run. I've got a few issues, but being able to pick this up, if I remember right, this was a $4.99 book, I think. Now, this, I remember seeing these books. I really wanted them. I got a chance to meet this guy in person, a favorite Batman artist of mine. But he can be pricey with everything that he's doing because Neil Adams is selling Neil Adams, and I don't blame him. He's Neil Adams. These are $6.99 books. I found 2 volumes of the 3-volume set, which is why I went today. So I got the the Teen Titans book instead. So I have the first 2 volumes of the Neil Adams Batman illustrated book. And my gosh, these books are beautiful. Beautiful. So very cool. And then it's got, you know, written word by him. Of course, it's, you know, his book. Forwards and just different pages from him. Hopefully I did not get the camera completely out of focus. And I did. So, come on, focus. Back here. That's just going to be par for the course today, folks. First, there is no video. And now there is, I knew it. Come on. Get back. Well, we're just going to hold it up in front of the camera. So there is volume 2. You don't really care to see me anyway. These were $6.99. So not too bad. I know I'm fuzzy, but you want to see the books anyway. So that is stack number 1. So there's that. I can move these off to the side. Bear with me. We're going to do stack number 2. If I don't break an arm. Okay. Good Lord. We just watched Rob break his arm live. Somebody call a doctor. So this was a book, if you've been, apologize about the camera there, folks. If you've been watching, listening to our podcast, Rob and Everyone Loves a Drake, I apologize. I'll hold the book up. I won't do that again. We were talking about Shotgun Smith and Rob and Everyone Loves a Drake, and Terrence had brought up what a cool series Gordon Batman Gordon of Gotham series is. So he recommended picking this up. This one I got for $3.99. Probably can't see it. Apologize. This one was originally $20, $19.99. Oh, I love these books. I got one more showcase. I'm going to save these books closer to last here. One more showcase. Batman Brave and the Bold. These are some of the very first Batman comics I ever read. Again, this was a $2.99 book. Brave and the Bold, you know, Batman and Metallo, Batman and Teen Titans, Batman and the Middlemen. Love me some Zany Haney. Bob Haney wrote a lot of these stories, so they're crazy, wacky, what have you, but very cool. All right. I'll save these for last. I love these books. All right. I've been a fan of these books, the celebration of 50 years, 75 year. I picked up the Teen Titans. This was one I was definitely after. So 50-year celebration of the Teen Titans. I have the 75 of Batman, Robin, and the Joker. And now, of course, Tim Drake and the Teen Titans, and Dick Grayson and the Teen Titans, and Starfire and the Teen Titans. You get where I'm going with this. This one is a $40 book, $39.99. I think this was also a $6.99 book. It's insanely good. Focus, camera. Damn you, focus. So, picked up Batman Incorporated, Volume 1. Tongue-tied here. This was one of the only Batman Incorporated series that I never picked up. I think I had the latter part of it. This is right before I got back into comics with the New 52. So I really wanted to get this. This is the deluxe version, and this one was originally $30. Got it for $4.99. Very cool. All right, now for the last 3 books. The Tales of the Batman series is a collection of famous Batman artists and compiling all their stories together. I was looking for the Norm Brayfogle. That was one of the only books out of this that they had. They had 4 different artists' books from this series, and he was the only one I couldn't find. So first one up is Tales of the Batman, the J.H. Williams run. This is a $50 book, and this was a $6.99 book. Hey, we're back in focus. All right, where have you been? J.H. Williams, if you're not familiar with his work, absolutely beautiful. I believe that's Clayface down here. Very, very cool. And these are printed on just the best paper you could possibly want because they're trying to show off the artist here. But my gosh, J.H. Williams. Actually, it's Mr. Freeze. Yeah. It's more of his art style in here. Absolutely love this book. If you can find in Ollie's, these books alone, I think are worth the price of admission. More Brave and the Bold. I don't care. I love it. One of my favorite all-time artists, favorite all-time artists, Jim Aparo. He was the very first Batman I fell in love with, Batman and Robin. I love his book. This is Volume, his look for Batman and Robin, and everybody that he draws. This is his Brave and the Bold run, which some of those are kind of duplicated in the showcase, but it's nice to have, again, in that crisp, razor-sharp color. I love this. I actually have this comic, if I can find. Of course, I just closed it. Batman and the Green Arrow. I mean, how do you not love Jim Aparo? What else do we have in here? Just kind of going through really quick. Batman and the Creeper, which you're like, hey, Rob, we want to see. Batman and the Phantom Stranger. So very cool. Again, these were $6.99. And the last out of that series, and this is the last book of the haul, Carmine Infantino. Very classic Batman and Robin shot there that we've probably seen a million times. I did not realize, if I can flip to it quick enough, which I probably won't be able to on a live video, that he also drew the famous first appearance of the post-crisis or pre-crisis Batgirl. Here it is. Everybody knows this book. So that's in here. Very, very cool. That is my Ollie's haul. I can't believe that. I mean, Ollie's has really had some good deals. They have bundle packs of DC Comics and some selected Marvel. And that's something I should say. This is only for DC Comics. They don't have a deal probably yet with Marvel. But even their normal stuff. Let's say this book was there normally, which it's never been. Let's just say that it was. At a $50 original price tag, it may be $20, which is still a really, really good deal. So you could go there and find other trades of other artists. They have a lot of coffee table type books. They're there, a lot of time life books, or I saw one today, The Life and History of Michael Jackson, really big, thick coffee table book. And it was normally a $35 book. I think it was 21, something like that. So really good deals. You can get barbecue sauce there, weed whacker, shovel, a parka, and a whole bunch of DC Comics and some toys and different things. I have a Superboy Young Justice, the 3 3/4 inch action figure in the cloning chamber that was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I love Michael Jackson 2 Automatica. I've seen San Diego Comic-Con exclusives like a year or two after the fact. What Ollie's does, that their big thing is, after a store closes or a store is trying to get rid of inventory that they can't sell anymore, that's what Ollie's does. Ollie's buys all of that stuff and then sells them at a discount. So that's how the store kind of came to be or whatever. So that's a long-winded explanation of my Ollie's haul. I'd like to think I'm done, but I know me. I may just, you can get weed. Thanks, Automatica. I know I said, well, that's probably going to be it for me. Of course, if I'm driving around the area, I might go, let's go into Ollie's and see if I can find anything else. So other than Volume 3 of the Neal Adams book, I would love to be able to try and track that down. Even if I have to suck it up and pay full price or find it slightly used on Amazon, that's still really good considering I got the other 2 volumes for a fraction of what the original thing cost, which I'm sure Neal Adams would be like, hey, where's my cut? So that's all of that that I have here. I want to give a quick shout out, which I have not done any pictures or a video for this yet. I possibly will. My good friend Automatica and Todd sent me this wonderful Batman, one of my favorite figures of Batman, which Andy Kubert, that we were just talking about. I had made mention, oh, I have the Damian and Tim Drake Robin 2-pack, and I've never been able to find this Batman. And they were doing some action figure cleaning, and in the little chat group that we're in, Automatica had taken a picture of her floor with all these action figures. And I had circled the figure. I said, oh, hey, is that Batman figure? What a great Batman figure. I love the huge cape. Excuse me. So, oh, that's a great figure. I think that's all I said in the video, or in our message group. And what's up, Christopher? And a couple days later, maybe about a week later, a package showed up, and it was this figure. It blew my mind. I'm like, holy crap. Well, how do I get this figure? I see a note in it from Todd that says, hey, Rob should have this figure. It's not what I was asking for at all. I was just like, hey, that's a really cool figure. I've been dying to try and find this figure. What a great figure. So thank you very, very much, Automatica and Todd. This is going to be going right up here, just off camera, unfortunately. I'll probably put him over here somewhere so he can be prominently in display. I love this Batman. Love, love, love this Batman. So I had to get a video up, at least saying officially, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for this wonderful figure. So I feel like with every live video that I'm done, I always say the phrase, hey, I'm still working on content for the YouTube channel. Hey, I'm still working on content for the YouTube channel. So, hey, I'm still working on content for the YouTube channel. I have a custom, one of the very first customs I ever bought. Automatica can at least say she has seen proof of that I've been working on this, because as we were setting up my iPad, I was taking pictures of like, okay, do I do this? Do I do this? And she got to see what I was editing. So that is coming. I've got to finish that. I think I've been saying that so much. I'm working on a really special project for Robin. Everyone loves the Drake Everyone loves the Drake podcast. So I definitely want you to go check that podcast out. Automatica said he's working on it. It has to do with Batman versus Superman. There you go. And it has to do with Robin. So there's only one Robin thing in that movie, so you probably know what it is. So that's really cool. Something to look forward to. I've got the Justice League Batmobile, not the huge expensive one. I have just the normal standard one. I've got that has to be edited and reviewed. I have a whole bunch of multiverse figures. I don't have the Clayface wave. I've got a few waves before that. But I have like Katana from the Suicide Squad that I've never reviewed. And some people are like, meh, but hey, it's a Katana figure. So anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody. I promise I'm going to get video content up here. I've been really slow. My good buddy Chapman Films, he's putting up content. He was one of the first video reviewers that I can remember watching. It was him, another name from the past, Electric Detonator. That is how I met Automatica. That is how I met ODC, That's Me. That's how I met Stu Murray 47. Group of us became fast friends, and we're talking 5, probably going on 6 years. So I'm kind of putting a challenge out to all those guys. Let's fire up the YouTube channels again. When we started this, it wasn't to try and monetize and make money and do all that stuff, which is really cool. It's about getting to our collections, the things that made us geeky, all of these little things, whether they're parademons from a Justice League movie, or whether it's a little Batmobile, or whether it's a cardboard cutout, or whether it's an Ollie's haul. This is what made us action figure collectors. I know things get crazy and life gets in the way, but I'm going to really try and do this and get back into the core of why I started doing the YouTube channel anyway, because I just want to sit here and talk to you guys and show my action figures. And so what if the video is 15 minutes long? I don't care. You probably don't care. If you do, you can fast forward to the end, but I don't want to be one of those YouTube reviewers that takes 5 minutes to show something, because the whole reason I started doing this channel was my best friend lived across the street, and I would go run over to his house and I would say, oh my gosh, Ryan, have you seen the new He-Man action figure? And we would just talk about it, talk about these things before there was even a YouTube. We would just sit there and talk as friends and geek out about this stuff. So that's what I want to do. I want to geek out with you guys about all these action figures. And we'll talk about some of the crappy action figures. And Rob, why are you buying the Mattel figures? And I'll say, because I don't want to spend $50 on a Mafex figure, even though I have some, yada, 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 yada. So with that, I want to say thank you to everybody that stuck with Rob's Rogues this long. I will get back to content and more fun little videos. I want to try and do some fun stuff. I want to get the Rogue Show back up and running in some fashion, even if it's just for some of us to, the 5 of us, 6 of us, to get back on and just geek out for a while. We've got Toy Fair coming up soon. There's the deluxe Mattel figures of Batman Forever, which I can't wait. We're getting a Val Kilmer figure. The last one I have is a 3 3/4 inch figure. The original 90s TV series Flash got an action figure. Right now those are in Canada, and I guess they're working their way down to here. There's a whole nother wave, like a Teen Titans wave, and one of them, it looks like Spoiler is part of it. I'm talking, we haven't seen any pictures of it, so it's odd that she's in a Teen Titans wave, but maybe that was just a way of getting that figure out there, and they were like, well, we're just going to put her under the Teen Titans banner. It's a deluxe figure. We don't know much about it at all. So that's about it. I'm rambling here. Thank you all very much, and we will see you guys on the next video, and it'll be the custom Robin thing that I'm really not saying what it is, but you can probably figure out what it is, kind of, sort of. We'll see you guys next video. Take care. Bye.